Welcome back to another YouTube channel. I am joined with Carl,
Hi guys.
and today we are going to be breaking down a relatively competitive website, I would say. It's obviously in the law industry. We're going to be covering like the topical authority that they have. We're going to be also digging a little bit into their link building side of stuff and what they're doing well, and also what could be improved as well. So, if you want to take it away, Carl.
Yeah. Well, it's actually really interesting here. Just obviously in the background, I'm checking out the site and doing a little. We do this all live. Kaz just picked the site about 3 minutes ago and we've clicked record. As we've done this, what's quite interesting is this specific website has been hacked, and I'm about to show what's happened to it. However, let's share my screen. Okay, so the website in question is Slater Gordon. Now you can see, it's pretty impressive traffic surges, but what I want to check, because I've just found out it's been hacked, just off a tiny little bit of research, I want to see what this surge is actually about and whether or not it's related to the hacked pages or not. So we'll just quickly dig into some keywords and see which new ones have came in. So obviously you can see straight away they are huge, like huge in terms of the UK and rankings, right? These are some pretty hard keywords, and the ranking third for no win, no fee solicitors is pretty.
Just for anybody that's watching, we're looking at slatergordon.co.uk if you do want to follow along and stuff.
Yeah, and obviously any US a solicitor is essentially a lawyer in the
Yeah.
UK. Just so you guys know that. So you can see, these are pretty broad terms: car accident lawyers, obviously in the UK, employment lawyers. Like there's loads of top level terms. I just want to quickly have a little look. So what I'll show you what I've just uncovered. So if we just do a site colon on the website, you can see here there is a subdomain CDN link that seems to go to some random ass website.
Oh wow! Right. Okay.
So they've definitely been hacked. So I was just wanting to see in Ahrefs. So if I swap back to here, I just want to see if that specific domain is picking up any keywords as well. Yeah, so it's not picking up any keywords yet. So it could be something that's quite recent. You can see they are starting to get a lot of spam to that URL though. So they've got 1.4k RDs there, which then could actually mean if we do on a subdomain level, you can deduct best part of 1.4k RDs from here. Let's do exact. So there you go. So straight down to that amount of URLs. And obviously this now looks a lot different. And we're just saying, well, obviously I've done exact URL, so it's not including sub pages. So do it this way instead. This obviously is going to include paths and sub pages. So the organic traffic and that still looks pretty good. Obviously, this is factoring in the CDN URL though, so you'd have to bear with on that. Let's see if I can do only specified domain. Yeah, it's still going to pull in that CDN for whatever reason. So,
One thing that is interesting, even though it is a hacked website, it is still performing quite well, but it's not to say that it will continue to perform quite well because this might be quite a recent hack for
I would
anybody
say
that's
it's
watching.
nothing very recent. If I actually go into, obviously this is assuming that there's no links built to this domain previously, but if you see it's kind of just happening. Oh, overview. It looks like it's kind of happening recently. It's literally September 2023.
Yeah.
So I don't know why the SEO, they might be on top of that, but from, doing a site colon, that should be de-indexed. I don't know. And then you can see here, there's even more pages. Interestingly, if I go CDN, I don't know if these guys,
I can only see your Ahrefs page, by the way.
I don't know if
There
these
you
guys
go.
have their own team or if they have been removing them. Again, don't know, but there's definitely at least 6 pages here, including the top level subdomain that's indexed. So it could be worth reaching out to them, Kazra.
Yeah.
Just say, oh, by the way, it looks like you've been hacked. Not by us, we're just the friendly guys who were auditing your website. Let me go back to the top level pages and let's have a look at their strategy and what they've got going on. So you can see here they've got a ton of, well, actually, one thing I like to do is on the overview tab, if you scroll down, you can see roughly pages that have traffic. And I do quite enjoy looking at this factor here. And that's primarily because it kind of gives you an idea of how many pages they've got that have traffic on the website and how many pages they have that have zero traffic. So it gives you an idea of authority of the site, whether what their strategies kind of involve in and things like that. So you can see here, again, off our previous video, a pretty healthy example of a good balance of traffic pages, not just reliant on the homepage, it seems.
Yeah.
So that also indicates obviously good authority.
I think that's massive going into 2024, having a full topical coverage of, for example, if you want to try and rank for personal injury lawyers, a lot of people sometimes just home in on that one page, but they don't actually have any supporting articles, or they don't do any link building or anything like that to that page, which obviously the more articles you have about personal injury, the higher you're going to rank for personal injury lawyers.
Exactly. And if you kind of ignore this little blip here, because obviously I'd have to dig into it deeper, I think something's really messed up in either Ahrefs or something, because for somehow on over a week period, they spiked up to nearly 1 million organic traffic. I don't know about that. But anyway, if you then just look at this tailor here, so it's 1,000, around about 1,000 organic pages. Then recently, the traffic's pretty stagnant-ish, I would say. But then recently they have been increasing organic pages and traffic's kind of also coming up, right? Again, digging into what pages they have, there's a lot of sort of clustered pages to help supporting articles. So you can see the way they're clustering it is kind of like personal injury claim, then / whatever it is, whatever, etc., which is pretty good. It's a good way of doing it. I would say there's never a right or wrong way of doing that. The key with all of that is stick with whatever way you've chosen. I see so many websites that I don't know if they've had multiple SEOs working with them or whatever, but they end up having like 5 different ways. And if you imagine Google being a bot that likes to understand the website and how it's structured, you're given it 5 different structures. So it's like, well, we're there. I don't know what box to put you in.
Yeah.
So usually I would always advise, especially when doing like initial audits and things, review the structure, URL structure, make sure you're happy with it, and then stick with that URL structure. So make sure like any ones that are going outside that URL structure are redirected and fixed.
Yeah, definitely. Well, one question that some people might have, Carl, is, let's say, for example, we wanted to go into law, right? Let's say we set up Carl and Carl's law firm, right? And we wanted to try and replicate what these guys have done. What would be your strategy for, like, let's say, the first 3 months?
So the first 3 months would be top level pages. It would be primarily, to be fair, a lot of content focus. Obviously, the first 3 months is still quite early in the cycle, so make sure the website's all set up perfectly, all that. Design the URL structure, probably similar to something like this. I would evaluate the top 10 law firms in the UK or solicitors. Then do the top level pages that are the main service offerings. But we're not going to really focus on ranking those. What we're going to then focus on ranking is the clusterization pages, the ones that are supporting that, like the quick wins. Because, a lot of these are not quick win keywords.
So basically what we would be focusing on is setting up all the service pages that we would be offering as a law firm. And then we would home in on, let's say, family law. And we would then go to town on, for example, the long tail keywords, try and win on those first, try and rank family lawyers, and then we would move on to, let's say, personal injury law, right?
Exactly, exactly. So one thing that you could also do is I love doing, and I don't think enough people do it. I don't know if people know, but we used to be known as snippet snipers.
Yeah.
So we used to just for fun, of an evening, just decide, right, well, this site's ranking in the top 10. Oh, there's a featured snippet. Right, we'll take that within 24 hours. That can still happen today. It's just sometimes it takes Google a bit longer to crawl the page.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously with the whole AI side. But what I do like to do is I like to just on SERP go featured snippet and then say where the target doesn't rank. And then on position, I like to go from position 2 to position, let's say 9, and then click apply, then show results. And then what this will do is it'll give us some very quick wins that this specific website can do to increase traffic. So what I then usually do is I would export this and it'll actually tell us how much volume in total there is that they're missing out on. So I
Mm-hmm.
can already see from this, just by looking at some of these numbers, they're probably missing out on 100K organic
Yeah.
traffic from really easy wins. Um, a lot of the time these snippets can be taken just by, editing a sentence on the page and making sure it's got the right entities on. It's like really simple stuff, but so many people just overlook it.
Yeah,
What I would
definitely.
then do for a new website though, is I would then be looking at this. I'd probably filter via, I know keyword difficulty is a bit of a crap metric, but I would filter by keyword difficulty just because it's given us something to filter by. I would then look at all the zeros and I'd almost be like, right, well, I can probably get a page set up on this. I can probably get a page set up on that and focus on trying to take that snippet, answer it as concise as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these will be still quite hard, but like this one here, for instance, perfect little page. Can I be sacked for having an accident at work, etc.? Unmarried couples' rights with property division, stuff like this. You can probably just build out pages on,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll definitely get the website moving in at least a positive ranking state initially.
Yeah. Sounds good. And then what about from a link building point of view? Is there anything that these guys are doing special? Or are they doing a mixture of everything?
So these guys, because they're such a big organization, have some very nice links. So you can see here, you've got the Wikipedias. They've got a Wikipedia mention, and they are an entity on there, so that's always going to set them in good stead for
Yeah.
anything you do. They've got links from Money Saving Expert, which also, if you have a look here, that page actually ranks for 2,363 keywords. So you've got a lot of pages here with ranking keywords, which also, again, is like a trust factor.
Mm-hmm.
But interestingly, look, so if we scroll down, there is some keywords here which they might need to get
Ah,
hold of. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing there. It's quite interesting that someone's decided to hack a law firm. That is pretty ballsy, if I'm being honest.
yeah.
Um,
It's not the right thing to do, is it?
no. However, it looks like the maybe's Dubai based or somewhere like that, so they might have or at least they're targeting somewhere in Dubai. So maybe that's their strategy. But it's quite. I would not be happily hacking into a law firm. Not that I hack, but I wouldn't be happily hacking into a law firm.
Yeah.
But yeah, these links they're pretty powerful. They're all quite related. You can see they are doing some type of guest posting. So if we go backlink type in content, do follow. So you can kind of see here, there's going to be, you've still got the sun and things. So again, more powerful links, mentioning the Martin Lewis article. But there is plenty of like WordPress style sites. I wonder if I can, no. There is plenty of WordPress style sites, which probably aligns with them doing some type of guest posting.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think that's really common in the law firm industry, or all the lawyers, even in like the guys that are in like Manchester and stuff. they're all doing like a mixture of like niche edits, guest posts. Some of the more advanced ones, they're doing a little bit of tiered link building.
Mm.
Some are obviously doing a bit of PR. Obviously, Slater and Gordon definitely are doing PR if they're in Money Saving Expert, The Sun, and so on and so forth. But
But this is what's also interesting, Kaz, with what you said. If I come back out of this, what
mhm,
you just said there. So, I know we're going to do a podcast. We could probably even use this as an example on the
yeah,
podcast with tiered link building. But look, most of these top sites, look on the amount of referring domains coming into them.
yeah, it's insane.
So it's like a good sign of, and most of these then have keywords, page traffic, etc. But a vast majority of them seem to have some RDs coming into them. So again, it's like if that isn't evidence of a factor, I don't know what is.
Hmm.
See if I can just do one, two. That's not just at least one. So we're going from 5,685 groups. Nearly half of the links that come to this site have tiered links to it.
Yeah, it's very the tiered link buildings.
Sorry, is that more than half, guys? I think that's more than half.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than half. But yeah, like what I've mentioned in previous videos and stuff, so many people don't do tiered link building, and I feel like it's a massively missed opportunity, especially knowing how cheap like tier two links are. We sell them at $30 a pop, and it's like, why wouldn't you get like, for example, you've paid for a guest post or you've got to acquire the guest post for $200-300. Why wouldn't you just power it up with like two or three tier twos and then get the ultimate like powered up?
Bang for the
Um, yeah, exactly that. And then not only that is in some of these more competitive industries. I don't know if you've seen this, Carl, loads, but say for example, in the finance, in the gambling sector, CBD as well, um, 9 times out of 10, you all have like a very, very similar backlink profile. So it then comes down to, okay, who's got the best Forbes link or who's got the best BBC link or who's got the best abc.co.uk link, right? And that's generally down to who's got more tier twos then at that point. Because again,
I would say, obviously, being background of gambling, I've definitely seen that happen, and I think
yeah,
the main issue is the fact that it's harder to get links in these niches,
yeah,
primarily because of cost. Like people hear the word finance, law, dating, porn, or casino, and they go, "Oh, well, that price of that links just went from $30 placement up to like $150, $200 placements."
yeah,
And that's primarily why, because then you're having to factor in a lot of that budget on like just a tier one link. So then you tend to find that they use tier twos because it generally means that you can get away with less tier ones.
exactly that, yeah,
And again, like this is a very competitive strategy, and as you said, competitive niche. And as you said, like they don't want to become the black sheep. So yeah, they could just probably build a ton of tier twos as a tier one. But what starts to happen is they get so many links that actually, and none of the links have much power going on because none of them are like internally linked or as a tier two. So then they end up just becoming the black sheep on the page where they've got the most links but actually not ranking the highest.
yeah, definitely. So that has been our breakdown on Slater Gordon. Thanks for joining me, Carl.
Cheers, guys. Nice to be on here again.
Right. Thank you for watching as well, guys. See you in the next video. Stop.